Welcome to Peak Week Pro. This is your ideal taper week for your next competition. I want to go through the exact steps that took me to a first place and multiple podiums throughout years of my training and competing, and how you can do the same. The first and most important thing to remember is that most people can ruin weeks and months of hard work in the last 7 days if you get it wrong. So in this guide, we're going to learn how to properly taper that last week from training, nutrition, mindset, recovery tools, and the race day itself, so you know exactly what to do on the days and the week leading up, so you don't burn out, under fuel, and leave yourself unprepared for race day itself. The first thing we're going to look at is training. Now, you've been training really, really hard for weeks and months, and you're going to be fit, strong, ready for competition. This last week is not about trying to get fitter, trying to get stronger. Those days are gone. You need to continue to focus on just ticking the boxes and making sure that your body is ready to compete at its best. So to do this, you look at reducing your overall volume. So a lot shorter sessions, still bringing some intensity. We still want a little bit of race intensity or competition intensity, whether that's weightlifting for CrossFit bits and pieces or Hyrox itself, but nowhere near the amount of volume you're going to do on the day itself. That's going to lead to excess fatigue, tired legs, heavy body, and you're going to feel under recovered by the time you get to that competition day. So massive focus on movement quality and executing everything that you're going to do on that competition day to the best of your ability, knowing exactly what your numbers are for lifts, knowing exactly how you're going to transition between movements, and making sure that you know what your running splits are, your row, your ski, whatever it may be, you're confident and competent that you're going to be able to execute what you've planned out on race day or competition day without any faltering or going too fast or too slow or anything like that. Next point is nutrition. Now, this is something that I definitely used to get wrong. I'd be trying to diet into competitions like it's a bodybuilding show, or trying to get in shape, trying to get a little bit leaner. That's not appropriate anymore. You cannot afford to underfuel going into competition day. Even though your intensity has dropped and your volume has dropped comparative to how you've been training for this competition, your food can't do the same, right? So you're not trying to diet, you're not trying to cut calories, get leaner. This is the time where we need to be fueling appropriately for the demands of that day, right? So increasing carbohydrate, I'm looking at 10 to 15% in the last 2 to 3 days. Say you're competing on a Saturday, we start to look around this Wednesday, Thursday, again, depending on how long, if you're at Turf Games, Athex, there's sort of a longer event versus a Hyrox or another CrossFit competition you're going to be there all day. You might need to look at a little bit more increase in calories. But as a rule of thumb, just a 10% carbohydrates. Make sure you're keeping your protein consistent, your fats moderate. You might want to drop fats the night before the competition. This is going to allow for better digestion. I'd also recommend less fiber, less spice. Everything that you normally eat and normally digest really, really well. It's not time to try new foods, get a takeaway, fuel up, all these bits and pieces you think, or like go and get a massive pasta dish that you haven't really sat well with before because you think, well, I need that excess energy. You can't it's not just a free pass to go and eat a load of shit. Make sure that you're always eating stuff that you know you digest well, and it's going to allow you to perform really, really well on the day. Our next point, a slightly longer one, something we can delve into, is the recovery and mindset. So most people this week, again, because training's dropped, food has increased, the mindset sort of starts to wobble a little bit. You're not doing what you normally do that makes you feel good and feel alive with your training and working hard under fatigue, right? This is time, again, you're not going to get fitter, but you need to make sure that your body is ready and that you are ready mentally. So to start with, make sure we're not overdoing recovery protocols. And again, stuff that's going to make you sore, like lots and lots of sports massages when you never get them. Don't do that. Just keep your normal routine, right? Make sure if you are traveling for a competition, you're prepared, you've got your food sorted, you've got your travel sorted, you're going to be there on time. Make sure you turn up on time to events. You're not running around thinking, oh, I I'm not going to be there on time. I don't know if I'm ready. Don't know if I've got all my equipment, if you need lifters, if you need belts and straps and all that sort of stuff. Make sure that those little self-doubts and thoughts that might be creeping in, that you're not ready, you need to be doing more, you're getting unfit because you're not training, they're natural. I used to get them loads. Now I try and lean into, you are ready. You've done, look at all this hard work you've done for the past 3-4 months probably. You're in the best physical shape, mental shape you've ever been in. You're ready to go and showcase to the best of your abilities what you have done and what you can achieve. So moving more into that recovery. So we're ticking the boxes. We make sure we're doing all these things. And make sure we're sleeping 7 to 9 hours every night. We're trying to create the lowest stress environment as possible. So back off work at things that might make you a little bit stressed. Make sure you're prepared with all your work stuff. Make sure you're still moving though, especially day of the competition. If you aren't competing until later in the day, and you would normally be walking loads, drinking loads, talking loads, go out and do those things. Doesn't mean go and train, but still keep active, keep moving, right? And then as we start to build into the race and the competition itself, make sure you're trusting what you've done, right? Stick to your plan, control what you can control. Right? So getting there on time, make sure you've got equipment, make sure you're ready. All these things matter so that when you start, you're not starting to doubt yourself and your body is as prepared as your mind is. And then moving on to our last one, which is the actual comp day itself, right? These are some key bits and pieces I think a lot of people forget, and they get overwhelmed by the occasion when there's loud music and there's lots of people and the adrenaline's pumping. Make sure you arrive on time. Give yourself lots of time to relax, scope out the venue, know where you've got to start, know where you've got to be. From a food standpoint, make sure you're eating your most substantial meal 2 to 3 hours before your first event or the event itself. Again, you've done all of your carb loading, all the prep the day before, the night before, a couple of days before. You don't need to be doing anything drastic now. You don't need to hammer down loads and loads of caffeine that you haven't been doing in prep. If you've been using supplementation along the lines of beta-alanine and caffeine in your prep for the past 2-3 weeks, continue to do so with the same amount. Don't just double down and smash loads in, because it's just going to destroy your gut and leave you feeling terrible for the rest of the day. When we get to the warm-up, make sure you're going to warm up properly and effectively. You're going to stimulate your race or competition requirements. So if it's a heavy lift, make sure you're lifting some heavy singles before you go out again. Don't tax yourself too close to those lifts. What's your running split going to be? Is your heart rate going to be as high as it is in that event? And then allow yourself to back off again and calm, relax. That's going to stand you in good stead during that competition to make sure you're performing at your best and you don't hit your heart rate sky high straight away and then you're struggling to hold on with the rest of the event. During, again, stay calm. Most of the things that you guys do will be either an hour plus with Hyrox, or you're going to be in there for 20 minutes when you're doing a CrossFit event, or same for Turf Against Athletics. It's not done in 10 seconds. So remember, breathe, focus on your transitions, focus on your game plan, what you've planned to do and how you've done it in practice. Make sure you're doing that. It's all part of staying composed. Do everything you've done in practice and that will come out in your performance. This is it. This is what you've planned for, what you've prepped for, this race, this event. Make sure you go and showcase how much hard work you've done in. Do yourself proud, and you're going to come out the back of it having done really well. And then finally, if you are looking to take your competition to the next level, I have some coaching positions open. So drop me a message with Perform after you watch this, either via email or on Instagram, and we can chat through your next competition, what your goals are, and what you have in place to plan and prep for the next one, and make sure you're going to get on that podium.